Loving God, grant me wisdom and guard my words. Amen. Loving God, that address to the Almighty was never one that I would have chosen as a child. The God of my youth was awesome and powerful, always waiting for me to make a mistake so that he could exact his terrible vengeance on my soul. I think that God is the God that a lot of people experience, and that makes me a little bit sad. I grew up in a world where God loved you, but he was also ready to punish you. He loved you, but he was setting traps and tricks for you to see if you would succeed and somehow still make it into heaven. That God, the God who loves with an iron fist, is not the God that I have come to know. And to be honest, my daughter Poppy is the one who has taught me the most about God and his very true love. My 4-year-old daughter will often stand in our backyard with her eyes closed and her arms wide out beside her, smiling into the breeze. And I sit and watch as her wild curls fly in the wind, and I look, and there is no sign of tension on her face. There's no tightness of stress in her shoulders. And in those moments, I see it. I see God reaching down and breathing his deep love into his child. And all I can do is stand and watch. Watch her be loved by God. Watch her feel the embrace of God. Watch her listening to God. I see that there are no expectations, no traps, no tricks, just love in its purest form. A part of me envies those moments. I can never seem to get out of my own way and allow God to breathe love into my soul. Now that I know the God of love and not the God of love if you earn it, I struggle to let him love me. Why, God? Why would you love me? Our gospel today gives us an answer, and we go to Jesus for it. Jesus is with his disciples, his students, his friends, and he looks around and knows what's coming: pain and destruction and death. He looks at those around him, and the thing that comes to his mind is love. He has loved so deeply and so continuously that he cannot leave these people without reminding them one more time. I see it playing out in my mind. I can hear the disciples' confusion, saying to him, "Yes, we know, Jesus. You love us, we love you, and that's great." And I can almost see Jesus not able to forget the ending of his chapter that's drawing near. And I wonder if he may have said something like, "No, but I really love you. And I need you to remember. And I want you to share that love with everyone else, because I'm almost out of time." Jesus didn't want love to end with him. He wanted God's unending love to trickle down through the ages and be poured over you and poured over me. And that is why me. That is why us. That is why God continually breathes his deep breath of love into my soul and to your soul, whether we're ready or not. Because of Jesus. God had been glorified by the compassionate love of the Son who led a life of true and beautifully rich love. Because Jesus. When I'm able to step out of the way and allow God's soul-filling love to wash over me, I begin to wonder what I should do with it. How do I follow what Jesus says and love others like he loved when the love that he gave, I don't think I can give? For me, I felt the answer to this question wash over me with another one of my babies. I was recently in a meeting, and I was hoping for a quiet discussion, but baby Iris needed to come with me. I went into the meeting anxious that she would cry or need a nap or need fed, and she did, all three. She did cry. She was hungry, and she desperately needed a nap. And as you can guess, this wasn't a quiet meeting. I rocked her, and I bounced her, and I fed her, and I cuddled her, anything I could think of. I looked up, and I couldn't make eye contact because all I could think of was, I am ruining this meeting. And all I could say was, I'm so sorry. But then I looked down at my baby, my tiny new baby, and it washed over me again. I love her. I love that she needs me and knows that I'll help her. I love that she is tired and knows that I'll hold her. I love that she looks at me and knows that she's home. So I calmed my body, took a few deep breaths, and allowed my spirit to tell Iris's spirit that all was okay. And after that, she drifted off into a peaceful sleep, knowing that she is loved. I looked at her, and I realized in that moment that I was hearing God tell me how much he loves me and how much he loves you. We aren't a nuisance. We aren't an inconvenience. We aren't something to be punished or tricked or trapped. We are and will always be the recipient of God's unending love for each of us. God was breathing his love into me, whether I was ready or not. And I was sharing that love with Iris without even knowing it. You see, we don't have to try to share this love. God's love fills us so completely that it spills out from us and works its way into the lives of others. It flows from us and gathers in the spirits of those around us. So I encourage you, friends, to love. Love well. Love like Jesus. Love because God is loving you in this moment and in every moment of your lives. Love and be loved by the one who created you. And let that love pass through you and flow into the world to the glory of God the Father. Amen.